Hey, Sun Devil fans, Brad Denny coming at you right after ASU opened up their first practice of week 2 of fall camp. And this was a day absolutely dominated by the Sun Devil defense. It was just a real strong performance by the defense, some big-time struggles on the offensive line, something that Kenny Dillingham had been happy with the offensive line play throughout most of fall camp so far, but said today was a real struggle for them, and it just had a kind of trickle-down effect on the entire offense. But the defense really, other than the first period or the first series of the team tempo period, in which Trenton Bourget led that drive, had 3 good connections with Jalin Conyers on the drive before also escaping some pressure, rolling out and being able to find a man open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Other than that, it was all defense all the time. There was a little bit of shuffling on the offensive line, but that might have contributed a little bit to the struggles. But overall, I mean, there were some drop passes, but the defense was just consistently bringing a ton of pressure on the offense. Clayton Smith, B.J. Green doing an exceptional job. There's some pressure up the middle from guys like Deshaun Mallory, C.J. Fight as well. Anthony Cooper continues to have a really strong camp as well. Tate Romney is a guy that has really kind of emerged in the last couple of days at linebacker. Now, of course, there was news that broke right before practice and was confirmed by Kenny Dillingham that Jawan Mitchell, the transfer linebacker who most recently played at Tennessee, had prior stops at a junior college and the University of Texas, was dismissed from the team. And when asked about it, he said, simply put, culture wins. We want good people that are also good football players, but that they will not be compromising on terms of the character. And so this is the second defender that has been dismissed from the team so far in fall camp, following Isaiah Johnson, the one-time 4-star cornerback, who just really was not able to get out of his own way. If you remember, had a strong game against Stanford last year. Looked like he was in position to finally fulfill that potential, but then just kept not get out of his own way, getting in some disciplinary issues, and ultimately he was dismissed. But Mitchell is gone, and so that leaves more opportunity for guys like Will Schaefer, Tate Romney, Crew Jackson, of course, Trey Brown, the veteran linebacker coming over from Wazoo, guy who knows this defense very well, had a pick 6 near the end of the team session earlier today on a tip ball by Drew Pine. Didn't get a chance to see who was able to get the tip. It might have been Tristan Monday. But then, Brown was able to pluck that ball out of the air, take it back for the touchdown. Just some of the areas other than team session that the defense won. The inside run drill was kind of one-sided as well. Cam Scattaboo did have a good run to highlight that, but overall it was another good session by the defense. B.J. Green, who just continues to be really good. But Deshaun Mallory, the defensive tackle transfer from Michigan State, continues to be very strong as well. He was really good. And then even in the one-on-ones, while the skill guys went off and did the kind of 7-on-7s and skellies, the linemen and edges were going at it, and the defense continued to win that day on them more often than they lost. So just, top to bottom, a day that was absolutely dominated by the defense. So we'll see how the offense is able to respond over the next couple of practices before, of course, the team heads up the hill following Wednesday's practice to Camp Tonazona, where they will practice Thursday and Friday, the big scrimmage on Saturday. All 3 practices will be open to the public. So that's if you're wanting to see some of your Sun Devils in action before August 31st season opener against Southern Utah, that is your chance. Get up there and see what they're all about. It's an exciting brand of football. Maybe you get to see how terrifying the Sun Devil defense is looking as they continue to bring pressure and make fall camp pretty hard overall for the offense. I should mention that there was one nice big play near the end of practice, and this is something that Kenny Dillingham even said that Trenton Bourget had a pretty good day. He had a nice deep ball down the field to Andre Johnson, the veteran wide receiver, who is really having a pretty good camp. I will admit I maybe have written him off a little too much. Not necessarily written him off completely, but just, there's so many new faces in that wide receiver room, some couple of returning stars, and just one ball to go around, a lot of targets. But he is continuing day after day to put up at least, a couple of moments where you're like, oh, okay, I'm taking notice, Andre. And he's had a big catch today. So we'll see if he's able to kind of work his way into the rotation. And, talking about that, we will have Rashad Samples, the ASU wide receiver coach, on tomorrow's episode of the Speak of the Devils podcast, when Joe and I will discuss the Big 12 move, as well as go more in depth into kind of an overall comprehensive first 8 days of fall camp review. But after this practice, also had a chance to talk to some Sun Devils that you'll hear from now. Starting off with kicker Dario Longhetto. Had a good spring, but has looked really, really good in fall camp. Had his first miss of fall camp earlier today, but overall was really good. Showing off a really strong leg. Has been hitting from great distance. One kick that I saw him, he connected with on from about 52, 53 yards away. Looked like he probably could have cleared, 60, 61, 62. Real strong leg there. So let's hear from Dario Longhetto. Things are going so far.
It's great. It's like I said, it's gonna be a quick fall camp, but it's gonna be we're gonna work really hard, and we've been doing that as a team, and we've been seeing everybody get a lot better at their craft, and for the specialists specifically, I mean, we've been doing great. I think having me, Slater, and Josh have been all around the block a long time, so it's good. It's good, and we have a young group of guys there too, so we're kind of all bouncing off each other, learning, keeping that energy up, and having a good time.
Where have you seen kind of the biggest strides, both in your game, but also just kind of the specialists collectively? You mentioned that trio from spring to now.
Yeah, from spring to now, I think the most things that we've been working on is just consistency. Consistency is just getting out there every day and doing the same thing. I mean, being a kicker, snapper, punter, you got the answers to the test. So can you just do the same thing every single time when it counts? And so I think that's our biggest improvement, is just doing that, getting the job done.
All the Sun Devil specialists, have a good connection. We've been working with like Steve Roush. What kind of impact has he had on you and just kind of this whole group of Sun Devil specialists?
Yeah, Steve is a great guy. I mean, he really knows what he's talking about. He's detail-oriented. He's very versed in the technique-specific stuff on kicking, punting, and snapping. And if you've ever seen him, with him, he's just a great personality to be around. He's very positive. He knows what he's doing, and it's just anytime you're around somebody like that, it's just only going to elevate your game. Josh mentioned that you got like all the specialists kind of a book. It was a golf book, a book on golf strategy and stuff. Kind of, where do you see kind of the parallels between the game of golf and kind of the rigors of specialists? Yeah, so golf, it's called Golf's Not a Game of Perfect, and it's just the mindset. It's the sport or the position that is really most similar to kicking, punting, snapping. It's because you only have one job out there, one shot out there, and you have to do the same thing every single time. In golf, you obviously have a couple little different things in your game, but it's learning that it's to master the monotony is sort of what Coach Riggle says about that, and it's to be able to do the same thing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times until it becomes muscle memory. And it's sort of learning how to take the pressures out of the game, or not take them out of the game, but to not let them affect your game, and sort of to use them to amplify yourself, whether it's to focus or to get pumped up or to calm down. It's there's a lot of parallels, and then when you go technically, you can imagine your leg as the golf club on the swing plane, keeping your head down, your eyes down. There's some similarities in the technical aspect, but it's mostly for the mental side of the game. So you're a pretty good golfer yourself? Does that translate over? Good golfer, I think that's it depends on who you're asking what a good golfer is. I don't think I'm the greatest, but I love getting out there. I think for me, you have a lot of stress and pressure in football, so I think golf is a good place to get out of that. Any truth to the rumors that like Kenny just plays? He had at least one round with just only a putter. I haven't heard any of that. I know he went out and played with. Oh, I actually did hear that. Yeah, I think he went out with some of the guys on the team and played some golf, maybe just with the putter. Are you looking forward to Camp T? Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Get out of this heat will be nice, but I think it's one of those things where it's you're just around your team the whole time, and it's just a few days, but it's going to be one of those experiences that you look back on 10, 15 years from now, like that was a great time. I remember that. You remember the tough times, because it's going to be football 24/7, and so it's going to be hard, and we're going to work hard, but it's going to be very enjoyable.
And then also was able to catch up with a couple of ASU's tight ends, Jalin Conyers and Bryce Pierre, who this tight end group is looking really good. Messiah Swinson, of course, in that mix as well. Ryan Morgan, the veteran, kind of more known for being that kind of H move guy and more for his blocking, but he's making some plays in the passing game as well. But overall, Bryce Pierre is a guy that, if you remember my conversation with tight ends coach Jason Mons, says Bryce is a Sunday guy, and we all know that Jalin Conyers is a Sunday guy too. So had a chance to catch up with them for a pretty fun conversation. So here's what those two big Sun Devil tight ends had to say.
What's been jumping out to you so far? 7 days into fall camp. How do you feel this tight end room is collectively coming along?
Go ahead. We're coming along well. I mean, it's friendly competition. Everybody's pushing each other to be better every day. We're all physical. We all make plays in the pass game, as everyone's been seeing. So we just want to come out and be the best on the field every time we come out.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, man, it's just we go in that room every day. We brought our goals on the board, and we just know how we want to compete. I mean, me and him talk crap to each other all the time about who's going to catch more balls and do this and that. So, we come out here and we just compete, man. Our goal ultimately is like we want four tight ends on the field at a time. That's our goal to get the practice, whether it's 12, 13, 11, we just want to be the best players on the field, and that's what we're trying to do every day.
Sure. Looks like Ryan's stepping up, making some more big plays, especially in the passing game. What's it like seeing him, guy who's kind of putting in the grind for a couple of years now, kind of jumping out a little bit more?
I mean, he deserves it. He works his tail off. I mean, if you go ask him, he'll tell you who's the fastest tight end in the room, even though we won't agree with him. But, I mean, he's working his tail off. He's catching the ball. I mean, I think it's just a testament to us, getting on the jugs and just doing extra stuff and catching balls every day. And I think, obviously him being in the pass game is going to be a new thing that he hasn't done very often, but now he's got used to it. And we talk about how fun it is. So it's nice going into a film room in the meetings and seeing each one of us catching 2 or 3 balls of practice. So it's definitely a good feeling. He deserves all he's getting.
100%. Ryan works hard, and it even shows in the offseason how hard he works from the weight room to now. He works hard every day. He pays attention to details in meetings, so that's why he's been so successful right now.
So if he's not the fast tight end, who is? Who gets a title?
Me.
Bro, no, it's me. If we line up in a race,
for sure.
if we line up in a race, I'd win.
So didn't you guys do the off-season testing where they get the miles per hour going?
Yeah, but the catapults don't count.
Is it you?
Catapults don't count. No, listen, catapults are so different. I don't care. If we line up in a race and had a 4-way race,
what you're going off.
Yes.
We'll see this year.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Because I know we're both gonna get out in the open, so we're definitely gonna see who's really the fastest. So I might have to come chase him. He catches the ball and see if I can catch him.
So how's the report coming along? Obviously, quarterback competition's kind of taking center stage. Of just you don't have that QB1 as of yet. How's that kind of rapport building in terms of you and the receiver, the other offensive playmakers?
Both quarterbacks have been great, honestly. They take the time to come out and work with us. They'll talk to us after practice of what they've seen, what they haven't seen, and they pay attention to details, see all the little things that we're doing wrong, come to us. I have trust in every quarterback in this room right now, so I think it's a great competition.
Yeah, I think it's just been about building a relationship. Obviously, you got T, who's thrown the tight end a lot last year, and then you got Drew, who threw to a lot of tight end in Notre Dame. So I think they both know we're reliable targets, and I think just in terms of in general the whole span of all 11 guys on the field, I think it's just about building relationships and seeing who's going to be the playmaker. And at the end of the day, both those guys are going to be ready to go. I mean, obviously, y'all know T's story. Y'all know Drew coming from Notre Dame. At the end of the day, it's going to be about them two competing, making the best out of each other and see who's going to come out on top. And we know either way, whoever's back there is going to help us win football games.
What are some of the things that you guys want to do as a tight end group over the next 3 weeks to make sure you guys are ready for Southern Utah?
Just to continue to be consistent at practice. Like he said, we've been having 2-3 catches every practice. We want to keep that going into the games, so that's a good habit once we get in the games, have 2-3 catches in the game so our coaches can see us, doing well, especially also in the run game, dominating the run game. We have some good teams coming up. We have Oklahoma State, who have a big front, so, it'll be good to be physical in the run game and the pass game, pretty much be unstoppable.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, being old reliable. I mean, when I think of tight ends, I think of guys that, that literally when it's third down and you need a catch, I think of the guys like Jason Witten, Antonio Gates, guys like that. We want to be guys like that when it comes down to it, we're going to be reliable and we're going to catch the ball in a big situation when they need us. And like you said, also in the run game, we need to be physical. We can't be tight ends that are just out running routes. Even though that's what we like to do. But at the end of the day, we got to be physical in the run game. I mean, whether it's me and him or me and Messiah or him and Messiah, Ryan's in there, it's our goal is to just be physical and, dominate. And I think so far being through practice going that a lot of it's just building it and getting chemistry. I mean, like I said, all of us were here together last year. I think that's one thing we have above a lot of people is we have the same room. So besides 2 walk-ons, which have been doing really well, they're doing really good as well. So I think it's just about, doing what we know how to do and showing what we're about.
Your coach mentioned culture wins, and as someone who was here last year, how far do you think the culture has come from last year?
We're far along from last year. Coach Dillingham, he's real stern on culture and what needs to be done, doing the right thing, open the door for people, make sure we pick up trash, being nice always at all times. That's really huge for us, and then it carries out to the field. And, when we get into it with our brothers, he always has us come back and make up for it. So Coach Dillingham has done a great job of inciting culture. That was the first thing he brought up in the team meeting too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think I mean, y'all know it. I mean, he doesn't put up with BS. If something happens, like, he'll kick guys off the team. He does not care. He doesn't care if you're best player or the worst player, you know. So I think that's a big part of it. And like you said, I mean, it's bigger than on the field stuff. You know, there's a culture on the field, but it's also off the field, in the locker room, talking to people, you know, just being nice. I mean, even being with y'all. You know, so, you know, I think it's just a big part of it, you know, that he trying to kind of emphasize. And, you know, like you said, man, it's just about building relationships and being a brotherhood. And I think even the culture in the tight end room, I mean, like I said, again, it's the same guys, but it's building a culture. It's getting what everybody wants to do. Like, you know, it's Messiah's been here. He's a vet. You know, he's been here for 5 years, 6 years? Five. Been here for 5 years. He was in JUCO for 2. Now he's been here for 2. I've been here for 4 now. So, like, we're all, and Brian's been here for 4 or 5. I can't remember. Like, we're a very experienced room, and I think a lot of it's just needs to we got to carry that over, and we got to be leaders, you know, when it comes to practice, all of us, when it comes to, you know, if we get in bad situations, this and that, to improve the culture and, you know, keep it going.
All right, speaking of an experienced room, Coach Mons was saying that with his personality, Messiahs are kind of opposite ends of the spectrum, but he said you're kind of that bridge in the middle. So do you see people kind of, if they need to go one way or another, so you need to talk to, approaching you just about certain things?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, I live with Messiah and I hang out with him all the time, so it works out.
Literally.
Yeah. It works out perfectly all the time, you know. For me, I just try to bring the energy to the room to bring everybody up, you know. When I see Jalin make a play, I want to go out and make a play. And, you know, even in the weight room, even when we're just all hanging out, like, we all make a competition, make it fun, so we can just keep, you know, we can carry it on everywhere, you know. So we all feed off each other, though, energy-wise. We joke about it with Messiah and talk about, you know, he's older. We're talking about me and him.
That's the prophet.
We're a little bit childish. So,
RPB.
You know, so it's a good balance. It's a great balance in the room, for sure.
Blocking isn't sexy, but you guys have both made a tremendous strides in the ability to block.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what has that been like?
Yes, sir. Just paying attention to detail. You know, we really paid attention to Mons and what he had said, what we need to pick up from in the spring, how we just need to be physical in the run games, footwork, all that good stuff. So blocking has improved for me and him both. We send each other clips, we talk about it, what we could have done right there, and you know, we always make sure that next practice we come out, we fix that mistake we made.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
no, I was just gonna piggyback with what he said and just say, like, it needs to be good for us right now, especially with the offense we're running, where, you know, we're going to be throwing it a lot, but we got to be able to be in the run game too to make it, you know, keep people on their toes. But I think the biggest thing for me and him that we talk about personally is, like, at the end of the day, if we want to be at the next level, if we want to be good at the next level, we got to be able to run block. We can't just be like, you know, it doesn't matter if you go watch Kelsey Kittle and all them. Yeah, they catch a bunch of balls, but they also block their ass off. So, you know, I think that's one of the biggest things that we get told and we talk about with each other is just like, you know, we catch a lot of balls, we're gonna catch touchdowns, we're not worried about that, but we need to be good in the run game too, because we don't want to be the guys that they're looking at film and they're like, oh yeah, all they can do is catch passes. So I think that's the biggest part of it.
Dillingham talks a lot about just like showing you guys from Utah how hard everybody's blocking and tackling, and like how much is that, like, you know, create the culture that you guys are
100%. We all see that, and I'm sure you guys seen at practices. We have been very physical, and he shows us that every day, and he's probably going to show us that when we play Utah. That's a physical team. So I think Dillingham's done a good job with that, showing us, you know, we need to be physical, and it's helped. It's helped a lot, because I feel like we're far along physicality in camp right now than we were last year.
You know, like you said, I mean, y'all saw me got put on my ass by JC. I mean, it's just being physical, you know, and JC's a competitor just like I am, and like it's one of those things where it's like I might have won the rep, but I mean, obviously, like that's something that I need to take personally. So, you know, I think it's just a big part of it was, you know, it was the first couple of days of practice, it was kind of trying to get in that mode of like, oh, we're in pads, we're this and that, and finally, I think now we're hitting that shot where it's like, all right, we ain't gonna put up with BS. We're hit. I mean, we're 6. He's really 6'8", but he's 6'8" and 6'5", so it's like, you know, we just got to be, you are tall. It's like, I swear he gets taller every day. I look at him like, bro, that's stupid. Like, I swear I'm shrinking. But, like, for real, like, it's just about keeping, you know, being physical. Like, we got to be good tight ends, you have to be at the end of the day. You know, when you go look at every tight end in the country, the guest guys, Kincaid's, the Keithys, can't think of Stanford's kid right now, but you know, all those guys that get picked and guys that are going to the NFL and stuff like that, getting all that attention. They're physical in the run game and efficient in the pass game.
Going to the Big 12, you know, that's a Texas guy. That's probably got to resonate a little bit with you. What are your guys' thoughts on the new conference home?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Big 12. You know, it's a good conference, good physical conference. I have some friends in the Big 12 too, so I'll be able to play them a few times. But yeah, it's really exciting.
No, it's definitely cool. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, hopefully if I'm here and stuff like that, it'd be definitely pretty fun. I mean, obviously, I got Tech, TCU, all the guys. I mean, I grew up and got my first offers from, so it'd be fun. I think it's good for the program in general. I think it's gonna, not only football. I think it's gonna be good for basketball, baseball, softball, track. I think it's gonna be good for all those sports. It's definitely obviously a little more traveling. I think if I wouldn't be surprised if they put it in divisions with like North and South and how far UCLF and all them are. But I think it's gonna be good for the program. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure Big 12 brings in more money. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Doesn't it? I think. I just think it does. So we're the Pac-4. We'll see what they do in the next couple of days. Is that how many they have left? 4?
That's 4, I think.
That's crazy. But yeah, I think. I mean, like you said, college football's changing. It's becoming more of possibly maybe little super conference type deals. So it's gonna be interesting to see how college football kind of plays out from there. But at the end of the day, we're gonna do our job. We're gonna play whoever we want, whether it's Alabama or Southern Utah. So
does that
we're gonna
add
do it.
Any intrigue to this year? With the conference won last year here, and some of those 4 teams that are staying. Does that add any intrigue?
Hell yeah. Well, first of all, I got Oklahoma State in the second week, so obviously we're going to be playing them a lot more. That'd be cool. And then, I mean, for us, it's the last, excuse my mouth, sorry. It's really the last Pac-12 championship, Arizona State's going to play in, so it means a lot. This is the last year it's going to give us a chance to possibly go play in the Rose Bowl. I'm pretty sure only Pac teams go to the Rose Bowl, so it's like one of those things where, stuff may change, but for us, it's like that possibility of knowing damn, this might be the last time we ever get to play in a Rose Bowl or this and that. It definitely brings a lot more motivation, and we want to get the job done. And I think that's, I think it's something that's not necessarily talked about because it's still a little new and fresh, but for us, as a team, it's dang, guys, what if this is the last time the Pac-12 team can play in Rose Bowl, and what if this is the last time I'm here? So, what are we going to do about it? So, I think it definitely brings a new motivation for us and stuff like that to, be good and obviously just go try to win as many games as possible.
100%.